In April of 1986, deep in the wooded backroads near Lee Creek in Wheeler, Arkansas, Donna and her family experienced something that would permanently change the way they understood the forest around them. What began as an ordinary trip to a small, secluded church turned into an encounter so vivid and unsettling that decades later, every detail remains burned into memory. The church sat quietly in the woods, surrounded by towering trees and thick underbrush. It was the kind of place where sound carried strangely, where even a whisper felt louder than it should. As Donna's family pulled in, there was an immediate sense that something wasn't right. The forest felt tense, heavy, as though they were being watched. Before anyone could brush the feeling aside, a deep, roaring howl tore through the trees. It wasn't the cry of any animal they recognized. It was powerful, chest-rattling, and intelligent in a way that froze everyone in place. Almost immediately, a smell followed, overwhelming and foul, like rotting meat mixed with wet earth and sulfur. It hit them in waves, so strong it made their eyes water and their stomachs turn. That was when movement caught their attention at the tree line. From the shadows emerged a massive figure, towering far above any human. Donna estimates it stood between 8 and 9 feet tall, covered in long, dark hair that hung from its body in thick, matted strands. Its shoulders were impossibly broad, wide like a linebacker's but scaled up to something almost unreal. The creature didn't rush them. Instead, it watched. Its posture was upright and deliberate, not animalistic in the way a bear might move. There was an unmistakable sense of awareness in how it stood, how it shifted its weight, how it observed the family and the church. For several terrifying moments, no one spoke. The only sounds were the faint rustling of leaves and the heavy breathing that seemed to come from the creature itself. Fear took over quickly. Donna remembers her heart pounding so loudly she was sure it could be heard. The adults ushered the family back toward the car, never turning their backs on the figure. The creature let out another low, vibrating sound, less of a roar this time, more of a warning, before retreating back into the trees as silently as it had appeared. The smell lingered long after it vanished, hanging in the air like a reminder of how close it had been. Later, when Donna shared what they had seen with locals, the response was unsettlingly calm. No one laughed. No one dismissed the story. Instead, people nodded knowingly and spoke of the forest people. That was the name many in the area used, a term passed down through generations. These beings, they said, had always been there, living deep in the woods along the creek, avoiding humans unless provoked or desperate. Donna's grandmother was among those who took the forest people seriously. She believed they lived not far from the family home and treated them less like monsters and more like neighbors that needed to be respected. According to her, the creatures were intelligent, territorial, and capable of both curiosity and violence. To keep them from coming too close, she claimed she would leave food at the edge of the property. It wasn't spoken of lightly or jokingly. It was simply something you did, the same way you locked your doors at night. Over the years, sightings continued. Shadows moving between trees, footprints far too large to belong to any known animal. Strange vocalizations echoing through the woods late at night. The smell would sometimes return without warning, drifting across the land on still evenings. Donna learned to recognize it instantly, and every time it appeared, the forest seemed to go quiet. Perhaps the most disturbing story came from someone Donna personally knew, someone she trusted. This individual claimed that during a tense encounter years later, they shot a Sasquatch-like being. The details were shared reluctantly, without bravado or exaggeration. According to them, the creature fled, injured but not killed, disappearing into the woods. What followed was silence. No body was found. No official report was ever made. But the fear lingered, along with the question of what really happened to the wounded being. What makes Donna's experience so compelling isn't just the sighting itself, but the way it fits into a broader pattern. This wasn't an isolated incident or a one-off tale told for attention. It was part of a living local tradition, one where the forest people were treated as a known presence rather than a myth. Stories like Donna's echo countless reports across North America, where witnesses describe the same overwhelming size, the same intelligence in the eyes, the same impossible smell, and the same sense of being evaluated rather than attacked. Even now, Donna avoids that area near Lee Creek. The woods there feel different to her, charged with memory and warning. She doesn't claim to have all the answers, and she doesn't try to convince skeptics. She simply tells what happened, exactly as she remembers it. And for those willing to listen, her story leaves behind an uncomfortable thought: maybe the forests aren't as empty as we like to believe. Maybe something ancient still watches from the trees, choosing carefully when to be seen, and when to remain hidden.